So I'm going to talk about something called the Norwegian AI Cloud. So I had to tell you first that don't try to look for the AI cloud yet, because I'm going to talk you about something that we're going to build, not that you could use now, right? So we have the partners listed here, all the major universities, and also the research institutes like Simula and Sintef, and also the budget. So we was very grateful for the Norwegian Research Council, especially when the Research Council itself is downsized, and also there's high demand for research needs. They have approved us 49 million Norwegian kroner for this project. So this project was submitted far before ChatGPT's time. So it was 4 or 5 years ago it was really started. It has been rejected several times, but we got it approved finally for a far less amount of money. But I think we can do something good with this. Compared to these numbers, so we are talking about 8.5 million USD here. The United States comparable project is 2.6 billion. And in United Kingdom, we have 100 million just to evaluate what to do. So we are talking, although this number might look big in a private account, as an infrastructure project, this is not so much. So we need a lot of assistance from the community to build something directly useful for them. So what I mean is, we are not going to just go and build something and invite you to use it. So we have divided our money into competence and hardware, so we can work with the users together to get more out of the money. That's why we are very thankful for Klaus and Noora for giving us this chance to introduce this. So the current status, if I see, so usually when you come up with a new project, you try to criticize what existing stuff, to emphasize the fact that you're going to do something better. But I would rather take the approach that we are going to help the existing institutes or the partners to do better. So this is not to replace them. So I was, more or less, I will use the word collaboration than sort of competing interests. So people, we have, in Norwegian institutes, we have machine learning infrastructure. So you might hear me using words like machine learning, not AI. So as infrastructure providers, we look at this problem as a machine learning problem, that people need to train models. So this is slightly different than, for example, the things you saw in the morning that people use AI. So in order to consume certain AI developments, you don't need much power. But to build this and to construct this, you need a lot of power. And in addition, that we have this since the beginning of the year, when we have this AI coming up, so people were worried about taking up jobs, and these big industry experts come up and say we need to control it. And then we have this government, especially the oil fund head, they're saying, we need to regulate it. So as infrastructure providers, but we don't want to be seen as, people try to do something illegal. It's not a meth lab or anything. So we are going to take the initiative in order to have it discussed and have it constructed in a way to help research. So we have some training as well, but it's different, people will do different things. So we are going to talk with the partners and get it together and talk with the users and try to consolidate what we have. And we're going to use the money to augment what they do so people can do better research. And also, there's much issue about people trying to focusing on executions. Especially what I'm talking about is not the sort of the machine learning, the artificial intelligence consuming part, but also the building part. People want to train a model, and then they use a specific software on a specific hardware, and then they get the results. If they do use anything else, that pipeline wouldn't work, because they are so tied to, and we call them vendor locked and also software locked. They don't have the support to look beyond the execution. So as system support engineers, what we do is we do firefighting, try to solve day-to-day solutions, but not to improve the user experience. So all those things we will try in this project. So how we're going to do is, first we're going to try to talk to the people, the partners, and we try to avoid parallel structures. For example, that's why it's Norwegian AI Cloud is not starting with a huge, like a website and all those things. Those will come. But our partner, for example, the Nura, so they are our dissemination partners. So we rely on that partner to provide that help for us. And then this fair data, the findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable data. So everybody talk about it. Big companies have access to data now. But our domain, the researchers who are doing very not so, their research directly might not lead to very popular stuff, but they're very useful stuff to be research to build the future AI infrastructure. So these people need data with high quality. So that has some regulations as well. Some of those data, especially health data, they can't go out of the Norwegian geographical boundaries. So we have to provide that. And then we have to build the competitive staff and the supporting staff. So at the beginning, we are trying to make with the researchers, our supporting staff and the vendors to evaluate technology together. So we will understand the problems better of the users before they actually fail it. It's when you have something installed and people come and do their work, and if something goes wrong, if they ask for us for the help, and if it is something with the vendors, something that we bought, our experience, it's too late to get things sold in a bigger scale. So we have to meet the vendors before we become customers if you really need in this sort of technology. Then it should be scalable. So the scalability is in the sense that we already have good infrastructure for research when it comes to high-performance computing, like the NRIS, the Sigma 2 setups, and the universities have their setups. Our aim is not to build something large in parallel to these things. Our aim is to identify what's available there and to monitor them and to extrapolate what the need would be in the future. And until we know that the exact need, we don't buy a big infrastructure. So we'll incrementally increase it. So for that, we need some sort of like hybrid setup where you have your laptop. When the laptop is enough, you should be able to easily move to a bigger server in the university. When the bigger server is not enough, you move to a high-performance computer system in the lab. And then when that is not enough, you move to national collaborations. Then you go to international collaborations, like the Lumi in Finland. And then when that is not enough, then you should be able to offload to the cloud as well. So let's say if you are training, if you have a course going on, you don't want to buy things for that course only. So you might want to offload it to the cloud. So we're going to provide that support. And also, hopefully we will able to, not only for the academics, but also the small to medium scale industries who can't afford such big hardware, we will try to help. So we have the user survey going on already to evaluate what the users need. And we're going to catalog the resources, what the Norwegian research already have. And then we have this something called the dashboard. So this is to monitor what people are doing and what is the balance. Do you have excess hardware or you have hardware needs, lack of hardware? And then we have this technology evaluation. So this is to look beyond the exact execution pipelines, but to look at the problems they want to solve. So there are new technologies coming up as well. So we have to sit down and evaluate it. And there'll be upgrading, smaller scale procurement will be going on. So one outcome of this project. This is not the final model. We are discussing the final model still. So this could be a user comes to an entry point, or an academic researcher, a student, or maybe a small startup company. They come to one place, and they would be guided depending on their discipline, their type or requirements by expert staff to the correct place. And then they'll be getting help according to that. So we plan to have experts on that part guiding them. So this is one model that we are suggesting. So in this initial state, so these are infrastructure projects, so these are not research projects. That means the money we took, we have to build something and deliver it. So it's, within 3 years, we have to do that. So this is the first year we are on. So you could participate as machine learning stakeholders. You could participate. The first contact point, if you don't know what it's about, you could contact Noora even directly, because as our dissemination partners. And we have a user survey. Surveys are a little boring, hard to fill, but we need that information. As I said in the beginning, we are not going to build something and train users for it. We are going to collaborate with the users to build something that they can use. So this, we need the help and also the survey. So this, the competition. So this is a slightly tricky thing. The thing is, so we call about democracy since morning. A lot of talk about fairness, how people can use AI and how people are equally treated, et cetera, et cetera. So when it comes to technology as well, there are people who are locked to certain ways of doing things, so they have a hard time adopting to bigger scale innovations. So we're going to help them. In addition, that we would see that these disciplines in the university sector, the disciplines would be have AI and IT knowledge integrated. Not only people who get degrees in AI, but a person who's getting a master's in arts or a master's in law or master's in medicine, they would have the opportunity to have a double master's. A master's in medicine alongside, they will also get a master's in AI. How to use that knowledge in their field. For this, we need to have a lot of infrastructure in place in order to deliver those things. So if you're interested, please do contact us and participate in the survey and also the technology competition. So this is up and coming technology. Some of them are not in the market. So we give you a chance to sit with our engineers and the vendors and to see that technology would fit what you want to do. And we will also help you to get on board. So we already have a lot of people here. I see Klaas is one of our board members, and Kustream is there, our liaison for the Noora. And Buket is there, Lars is there from the University of Oslo. Maybe some few people as well. So you could get more information from these people as well. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you, Noora, for the arrangements.